Change is something that we all experience in life, yet it is something that many of us resist. We often find comfort in familiarity, in routines, and in the things that we know. Change, on the other hand, brings uncertainty, and with uncertainty comes discomfort. Whether it's a change in our career, our relationships, our environment, or our personal growth, it's easy to feel uneasy about the unknown. It forces us to step out of our comfort zones, to let go of old habits, and to confront new challenges that may seem daunting. Yet, no matter how uncomfortable change may be, it is necessary for growth and progress. Without change, we remain stagnant, stuck in the same patterns, and unable to evolve. It is through change that we learn, adapt, and move forward. The discomfort that comes with change is often a natural reaction to fear of the unknown. We fear what we cannot predict or control, and this fear can prevent us from embracing change. It's easy to look at a situation and focus on the potential negative outcomes, the risk of failure, the uncertainty of the future, or the possibility of making mistakes. However, what we often fail to realize is that change is not something to fear, it is something to be embraced. Every time we experience change, we gain new insights and develop new skills. The discomfort we feel is a sign that we are pushing beyond our current limits, stretching ourselves in ways that will ultimately make us stronger. It is through this discomfort that we grow. If we never felt discomfort, we would never be forced to look at ourselves, challenge our assumptions, or reevaluate our approach. Change forces us to confront parts of ourselves and our lives that we might otherwise ignore. It is uncomfortable, yes, but it is also an opportunity for transformation. Change can also bring about feelings of loss. Whether it's the end of a relationship, a career shift, or the departure from a familiar place, change often involves leaving something behind. This sense of loss can be painful, as it reminds us of what we had, what we are giving up, or what we are leaving behind. We might feel a sense of grief or sadness as we mourn the things that once felt secure or comforting. However, it is important to recognize that loss is a natural part of change. We cannot grow without letting go of something old. Sometimes we cling to the past because it feels safe, but holding on too tightly prevents us from reaching new opportunities. When we let go, we create space for something new to enter our lives. Change may require us to leave behind old habits, mindsets, or situations that no longer serve us, but it also opens up the potential for new growth, new experiences, and new possibilities. By accepting the discomfort of loss, we allow ourselves to step into the unknown and embrace what the future holds. One of the biggest challenges of change is the fear of failure. When we make a change, we are often stepping into uncharted territory, and the risk of failing can seem overwhelming. The fear of making mistakes, of not succeeding, or of falling short can paralyze us and keep us from moving forward. However, failure is an inherent part of change. When we change, we are learning something new, and learning requires trial and error. We may stumble along the way, but this does not mean we are failing, it means we are growing. Every mistake we make teaches us something valuable, and every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. Without failure, there can be no progress. The fear of failure should not prevent us from making necessary changes in our lives. Instead, we must reframe failure as part of the process of growth. Each failure brings us one step closer to success, as it provides valuable lessons that help us adjust, refine, and move forward with greater knowledge and wisdom. Moreover, change often requires us to become more adaptable. Life is unpredictable, and we cannot always anticipate the challenges or opportunities that will arise. The ability to adapt to change is a skill that allows us to thrive in an ever-evolving world. This adaptability is not always easy to cultivate, especially if we are used to routines or familiar ways of thinking. We may find ourselves resisting change because it feels overwhelming or because it challenges our established way of life. However, adaptability is essential for navigating the inevitable changes that life will bring. By embracing change and learning to adjust, we become more flexible, resilient, and capable of handling whatever comes our way. Change teaches us to be resourceful, to think on our feet, and to find solutions in the face of uncertainty. While it may feel uncomfortable at first, this adaptability becomes a powerful tool that enables us to thrive in any situation. In many cases, change is also a necessary part of personal development, an essential part of life. It may be uncomfortable, but it is also necessary for growth, progress, and self-discovery. While we may resist change out of fear or uncertainty, we must recognize that it is through change that we learn, evolve, and reach our fullest potential. It is in embracing the discomfort of change that we are able to break free from old patterns, challenge ourselves, and step into new possibilities. Change forces us to adapt, to become more resilient, and to develop new skills that allow us to navigate the complexities of life. While the discomfort of change may never completely go away, it is a sign that we are moving forward, growing, and creating space for something better. Many people search for happiness outside of themselves, believing that external circumstances, achievements, or possessions will bring them lasting fulfillment. We often think that once we have the perfect job, the ideal relationship, or the right amount of wealth, happiness will naturally follow. However, this belief is flawed, as true happiness doesn't come from external sources, it comes from within. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need something outside of ourselves to feel complete. But the reality is that happiness is a state of mind, a choice that we make every day. It is not something that can be bought, given, or earned. Rather, it is something that we must cultivate and nurture within ourselves. The pursuit of happiness often leads people to seek validation from others or to chase external markers of success. We might look to social media, the opinions of others, or societal standards to measure our worth, believing that if we meet these expectations, we will finally be happy. However, this external pursuit of happiness is a never-ending cycle. As soon as we achieve one goal, we find that another one immediately takes its place. We may reach a milestone, but instead of feeling satisfied, we are already focused on the next achievement. This constant striving for more can leave us feeling empty, as we realize that no matter how much we accumulate, we are never truly fulfilled. The truth is that relying on external circumstances to bring happiness only leads to temporary satisfaction, which is quickly replaced by a desire for more. This cycle can be exhausting and ultimately unsatisfying. True happiness, on the other hand, is rooted in self-acceptance and inner peace. It comes from a place of being content with who we are, regardless of our achievements or possessions. When we are at peace with ourselves, we no longer feel the need to measure our worth against the expectations of others. We can find joy in the present moment without constantly chasing after an idealized future. This doesn't mean that we stop striving for goals or that we become complacent, rather. It means that we are able to find contentment and satisfaction in the process, rather than waiting for some future event to bring happiness. We learn to appreciate the journey and recognize that happiness is found in the small, everyday moments that make up our lives. One of the keys to finding happiness within is letting go of the need for approval from others. Many people tie their happiness to how they are perceived by those around them. We seek validation through likes, praise, and recognition, hoping that these external sources of approval will give us a sense of self-worth. However, this reliance on external validation can be damaging. It places our sense of happiness in the hands of others, which is something we cannot control. If we allow our happiness to be dependent on the approval of others, we are constantly at the mercy of their opinions, which can change at any moment. Instead, when we learn to find value in ourselves and our own achievements, independent of others' judgments, we can cultivate a deeper, more lasting sense of happiness. Moreover, true happiness comes from embracing gratitude and appreciating what we have in the present moment. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that we need more to be happy, but the reality is that we already have everything we need to be content. Gratitude allows us to shift our focus from what we lack to what we already possess. When we take the time to appreciate the simple things, the warmth of the sun, the kindness of others, the beauty of nature, we begin to realize that happiness is not found in the grand achievements or possessions, but in the small, everyday blessings. This shift in perspective can have a profound impact on our overall well-being. By practicing gratitude, we train ourselves to find joy in the present moment, rather than constantly seeking happiness from the future or from external sources. In addition to gratitude, mindfulness is another powerful tool for cultivating inner happiness. Mindfulness allows us to be fully present in the moment, without judgment or distraction. When we practice mindfulness, we become more attuned to our thoughts, feelings, and sensations, and we can better manage the stresses and challenges of life. Instead of getting caught up in worries about the future or regrets about the past, mindfulness helps us focus on what is happening right now. It allows us to experience life more fully and appreciate the small moments that we might otherwise overlook. Through mindfulness, we can develop a greater sense of inner peace and contentment, which are key components of true happiness. As you strive to achieve your goals and pursue your dreams, there will inevitably be moments when you realize that not everyone around you will support you. It's a painful truth that can be hard to accept, especially when you expect encouragement from those closest to you. The people we trust, love, and rely on may not always share our vision or believe in our potential. This can be one of the most disheartening realities to face in life. It's easy to feel discouraged when the people we care about don't offer the support we expect, or when their words or actions suggest that they don't understand or appreciate our ambitions. But the truth is, not everyone will be on your side, no matter how hard you try to prove your worth or share your vision. This is not always a reflection of your abilities, ideas, or dreams. People have their own fears, insecurities, and limitations, and sometimes these aspects of their lives affect how they perceive others. They may not understand the risks you're taking, the choices you're making, or the sacrifices you're making to pursue your dreams. In some cases, they may feel threatened by your aspirations or may project their own doubts onto you. This can be painful, especially if it comes from people you've always trusted. But the reality is, we can't control the reactions or opinions of others. While it's natural to want the people around you to support your dreams and goals, it's important to recognize that their lack of support doesn't diminish your worth or your potential. What matters most is your belief in yourself and your ability to keep going, even in the face of skepticism from others. Instead of letting the lack of support from certain individuals derail you, it's crucial to find strength in your own conviction. You don't need everyone to believe in your vision for it to be valuable. The people who matter are the ones who see your potential, who lift you up when you're down, and who encourage you to keep moving forward. These people may be few in number, but their support is far more meaningful than any amount of doubt from others. It's also important to understand that not everyone's lack of support is personal. People may have their own struggles, insecurities, or fears that prevent them from being able to offer encouragement. Sometimes it's not about you at all. They may be projecting their own limitations or fears onto you because they're unable to understand or accept the risks you're taking. In some cases, they may not have the vision to see the potential in your goals or may be focused on their own challenges to offer any meaningful support. It's essential to separate their lack of belief in your dreams from their personal feelings toward you. Their doubts do not define who you are or what you can achieve. In many ways, this is an opportunity to show resilience and strength. When others doubt you or don't support your vision, it becomes even more important to prove to yourself that you are capable. It's easy to listen to the negative voices around us, but the truth is, their words are just that, words. They hold no power over your future unless you allow them to. There is also the reality that some people may not support you simply because they are not equipped to understand your journey. People have different perspectives on life, shaped by their own experiences, values, and limitations. What might seem like a clear path to you may seem uncertain or risky to someone else. They may not have the same vision, goals, or willingness to take the same risks. This doesn't mean they are wrong or bad, it simply means that they are on a different path. Just because others don't understand your goals doesn't mean you should abandon them. Often, the most groundbreaking ideas or dreams are met with resistance at first. If everyone supported your vision from the beginning, it might not be as valuable or challenging. It's the pushback, the skepticism, and the doubt that force us to refine our ideas and prove our resolve. The journey to success is rarely straightforward, and it's often the people who aren't immediately on board who teach us the most about our own perseverance. Moreover, there are times when the lack of support from others is simply a result of their own limitations or struggles. It's not that they don't want you to succeed, but that they may be unable to see beyond their own challenges. They might be dealing with personal issues, their own setbacks, or negative experiences that make it difficult for them to see things from your perspective. While this may be disappointing, it's also a reminder that everyone has their own burdens to carry. The key is not to take their lack of support personally, but to continue to focus on your own journey. The people who are meant to walk with you will show up when the time is right. Until then, keep moving forward and don't let anyone's doubts stop you. At the same time, there is a valuable lesson in dealing with the absence of support, learning to rely on yourself. There may be times when you don't have a strong network to turn to, or when the people you thought would encourage you fall short. In these moments, it's essential to build inner strength and self-reliance. Your own belief in yourself is more important than any external validation. When you trust in your abilities and remain committed to your goals, you become less reliant on others for reassurance. This does not mean shutting people out or rejecting support when it's offered, but rather learning to trust yourself in the absence of it. When you know you're capable and stay focused on your purpose, the lack of external support becomes less significant. Ultimately, the truth is that not everyone will support you, and that's something you must accept. People will come and go in your life, and their support will ebb and flow. But your journey is yours alone. The most important thing is to keep moving forward, regardless of the opinions of others. Stay true to your vision, trust in your abilities, and keep pushing through the challenges. You may not have everyone's support, but the most important person to believe in you is yourself. The people who are meant to support you will find their way to you, but until then, know that you have everything you need within you to succeed. Hard work is often hailed as the key to success. We are taught from a young age that if we just put in enough effort, we will eventually reap the rewards. It's a comforting thought, one that suggests that with enough time and energy, nothing is out of our reach. However, the painful truth is that hard work doesn't always guarantee success. No matter how much we dedicate ourselves, how many hours we invest, or how hard we push, there are circumstances beyond our control that can impact the outcome. External factors, such as timing, luck, and unforeseen obstacles, can influence the results of our efforts. You can put in the hours, make the sacrifices, and do everything right, yet still find yourself facing setbacks or not achieving the success you expected. This reality can be discouraging, especially when you've invested so much of yourself into your work. The truth is, success is not always a direct result of effort alone. It's not that hard work is unimportant, it is essential for growth and development. Hard work teaches discipline, perseverance, and resilience. It shapes our character and strengthens our ability to face challenges. But no matter how much effort we put in, sometimes things just don't go the way we hope. Life has a way of throwing obstacles our way that we cannot anticipate or control. Maybe the market shifts, the economy changes, or a competitor emerges with a better solution. These factors can significantly affect the outcome of our hard work, and often we are left to pick up the pieces of plans that didn't come together as we envisioned. This reality doesn't mean that hard work is futile. On the contrary, it's the foundation that allows us to build, adapt, and keep moving forward. Hard work provides us with the skills and experience we need to navigate life's challenges. It helps us become better versions of ourselves, even when success isn't immediately achieved. Even in the face of failure or setbacks, hard work equips us with the resilience to keep trying, to pivot, and to learn from our mistakes. While hard work may not guarantee success, it ensures that we are prepared for whatever comes next. Every effort, even when it doesn't result in immediate success, builds the strength and wisdom we need to continue moving forward. Furthermore, hard work often brings incremental progress, even if it doesn't lead directly to the results we expect. Many people underestimate the value of small improvements over time. While success may not come all at once, consistent effort over the long term can result in significant progress. It's easy to get discouraged when the results of our labor aren't immediately visible, but it's important to remember that every small step contributes to the larger journey. Even if you don't achieve the big breakthrough right away, your hard work is creating a foundation for future opportunities. These small victories may not always feel like success in the moment, but they are progress nonetheless. Sometimes it takes years of hard work before the pieces of the puzzle start to fall into place. The process itself is a crucial part of growth, even if the end result doesn't come as quickly as we hope. Another important aspect of this painful truth is the idea that hard work can lead to burnout if we don't take care of ourselves. When we focus too much on the outcome and the need to work harder and harder, we can lose sight of the need for balance. Success cannot be achieved at the cost of our mental, emotional, or physical well-being. The idea that hard work will eventually lead to success can sometimes become an obsession, leading us to push ourselves to the point of exhaustion. We forget that rest, reflection, and self-care are also essential components of a successful journey. Without proper rest, we may lose the clarity, creativity, and energy needed to continue pursuing our goals. In these moments, it's crucial to remind ourselves that while hard work is important, it's equally important to maintain balance and health. Success achieved at the cost of our well-being is not truly success, it's a hollow victory. Moreover, the idea that hard work alone guarantees success can also create a false sense of security. It can lead us to believe that if we work hard enough, we are entitled to the desired result. But life is unpredictable, and sometimes things simply don't work out the way we plan. We might have the best intentions, the most meticulous work ethic, and the most determined spirit, but still encounter failure or disappointment. This can be particularly difficult for those who have spent years building something, only to see it fall apart for reasons they couldn't control. While hard work is necessary, it's important to understand that there are many factors involved in success that are not entirely within our control. Time is a limited resource, and once it passes, we cannot reclaim it. We live in a world where it's easy to get caught up in distractions, constantly busy but not always productive. It's tempting to procrastinate or put off things that matter, but the painful truth is that every moment we waste is one we will never get back. We spend so much of our time on things that don't truly add value to our lives, chasing after fleeting pleasures, arguing over trivial matters, or worrying about things that never come to pass. In truth, every minute is an opportunity to invest in what matters: our relationships, our growth, our dreams. The key is to become aware of how we use our time and shift our focus toward what is truly important. Time is a resource we can never replenish. And once we realize that, it changes how we approach each day. Prioritizing what matters the most is the most powerful way to make the most of our time. Failure is something most of us fear. We grow up with the idea that failure is something to be avoided at all costs. But the painful truth is that failure is inevitable. No one escapes it, no matter how talented or prepared they may be. Failure is not a reflection of our worth or ability, it is simply a part of the learning process. In fact, failure can be one of our greatest teachers. It forces us to confront our weaknesses, reevaluate our strategies, and come up with better solutions. Yet, it's easy to feel defeated in the face of failure. It stings, sometimes deeply. It can shake our confidence and make us question our path. But the reality is, every successful person has failed at some point. What sets them apart is their ability to learn from failure and keep moving forward. Rather than seeing failure as an end, we must learn to view it as a stepping stone to growth. Failure doesn't mean we've lost, it means we've learned, and we are one step closer to success. Another painful truth is that not everyone will support you. In fact, some people will actively doubt you, criticize you, or even try to sabotage your efforts. It can be deeply disheartening when those we expect to cheer us on become our biggest critics. It's a painful reality, but it's also one we must accept. People have their own insecurities and fears, and sometimes they project these onto others. Not everyone will understand your vision or support your dreams, and that's okay. The key is to not let their negativity derail you. You are not defined by the opinions of others. Their doubts are not a reflection of your potential. Instead, focus on the people who believe in you and the reasons why you started in the first place. The world is full of critics, but it is also full of supporters. Find your tribe and let their encouragement fuel you forward. Hard work is often praised as the key to success, and while effort is undeniably important, it's a painful truth that hard work does not always guarantee success. Despite our best efforts, circumstances sometimes don't align in our favor. Life has a way of throwing curveballs, unexpected events, unforeseen obstacles, or simply bad luck. You might pour your heart and soul into something, only to see it fall apart for reasons beyond your control. This can be frustrating and disheartening, especially when you've invested so much time and energy. However, it's important to remember that success is not just about the outcome, it's about the journey. Hard work may not always guarantee the results you want, but it does shape who you are and build your character. It teaches perseverance, discipline, and resilience. And even when success doesn't come immediately, the lessons learned from hard work will prepare you for the next opportunity. Change is an unavoidable part of life, yet it's one that many of us resist. We get comfortable with the status quo and fear the discomfort that comes with stepping into the unknown. But the painful truth is that change is not just inevitable, it's necessary for growth. Without change, we remain stagnant. We cannot evolve or reach new heights if we're unwilling to leave our comfort zone. It's true that change can be uncomfortable, and it often comes with uncertainty and fear. But it's also the doorway to new possibilities, fresh experiences, and deeper growth. It's easy to cling to what we know, but when we do, we limit ourselves. Growth requires discomfort, and discomfort leads to transformation. Embracing change, even when it's difficult, is the only way to move forward and achieve anything meaningful. True happiness doesn't come from external sources. No amount of money, status, or material possessions will bring lasting joy. The painful truth is that happiness is an inside job. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that once we achieve a certain goal or acquire something we desire, we'll finally be happy. But the reality is that happiness comes from within. It's found in our ability to appreciate the small things, to cultivate gratitude, to find peace with ourselves and our circumstances. Happiness is not something to be chased, it's something to be cultivated. It's about developing a mindset that appreciates life as it is, not as we think it should be. True happiness comes when we stop looking for it outside of ourselves and start embracing it within. It's about knowing that we are enough as we are right now. When we make peace with ourselves in the present moment, happiness becomes a natural byproduct. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how carefully we plan, things often don't go as expected. The plans we make, the goals we set, sometimes they fall apart for reasons beyond our control. This uncertainty can be unsettling, and the fear of the unknown can paralyze us. But the painful truth is that life is always going to be unpredictable. We cannot control everything. What we can control is how we respond to the unexpected. We can choose to adapt, to adjust our sails when the winds change direction. Life is filled with surprises, some good, some bad, but the key is to stay flexible, to embrace uncertainty, and to keep moving forward despite the unknowns. The unpredictability of life is not something to fear, it's something to navigate with resilience and hope. Failure is something that many of us try to avoid, and yet it's a constant presence in life. We grow up with the notion that failure is something to fear, and that it represents the end of the road. However, the painful truth is that failure is inevitable. It is something that everyone will experience, no matter how talented, prepared, or successful they may seem. Failure is not a reflection of your worth or abilities, but rather a natural part of the learning process. In fact, failure often holds more lessons than success itself. While we might feel disappointment and discouragement in the wake of failure, it's precisely in these moments that growth happens. Failure teaches us about our limitations and weaknesses. It forces us to reconsider our approach, reevaluate our decisions, and learn from our mistakes. If we view failure as a setback rather than a permanent defeat, we can see that it is simply a stepping stone on the road to greater understanding. Every failure is an opportunity to get better, to refine our skills, and to become more resilient. The people who succeed are often the ones who have failed the most, but they are also the ones who've learned the most from those failures. It's not about avoiding failure, it's about accepting it as a part of the journey and using it to propel us forward. There is also the harsh truth that not everyone will support you. In the pursuit of your goals and dreams, you will encounter people who will doubt you, criticize you, or even try to stand in your way. It's painful to realize that the people we trust and expect to support us may not always have our best interests at heart. There may be family members, friends, or colleagues who do not understand our vision or who are threatened by our success. It's a reality that no one is immune to. There will always be critics. Their words can sting, and their lack of support can leave us feeling isolated. But this is a truth we must come to terms with. Not everyone is going to believe in us or cheer for us. Some people will have their own doubts, insecurities, and fears that they project onto us. Their criticisms are not a reflection of our potential, but rather a reflection of their own limitations. What we must do in these moments is to remember that their opinions do not define us. We must stay focused on our goals and continue moving forward, regardless of whether others believe in us or not. The people who truly matter, those who see our potential, who encourage and support us, are the ones who deserve our attention. Sometimes the lack of support from others can drive us to prove them wrong, to show that we are capable of more than they ever thought possible. The reality is, you will never please everyone, and that's okay. As long as you are true to your vision, the right people will gravitate towards you, and that is where your energy should be focused.